I swear, I am so mind blown right now with you're still seeing these women up there, oh, they're going to see the fury of our female gender. We will march in the streets. We will force them to give us rights. What the fuck? It's done. The system is done. Like, who are you fighting? Who the fuck are you fighting? This is goddamn mental. I don't know what it takes for people to wake up. I mean, it is like they just want to be like I've said, it's like barnacles on a ship. It's like, oh, I'm holding on. I'm holding on. Don't let me go. It's like, motherfucking Jesus Christ. And these women who, women supposedly have all the intuition, all this insight. They all think they're super connected, so much more brilliant than a man. Oh my God. But yeah, we're gonna go out and we're gonna march. They will see the fury of the female. We will all meet in the street. We will tear it down. Why? Why? It is fucking ending. It is fucking over. Tell you a weird thing. The Georgia Guidestones, there's a little tiny hole. And no matter what, any time of the year, you look through that hole, you can see the North Star, which I was hearing flat earthers say, that's proof. It's proof right there. I was like, did they take it down because they're trying to take away all the proof of this reality? I think it is it was an energy weapon. There's so much happening. I guess one of those great big obelisk things now has been taken down. They're probably an energy weapon. Maybe they're just going to go around and shoot all these giant penises all over the friggin', all over the planet. Just start shooting them down. Like, I don't know. I mean, something is going on. So if they have been trying to wake us up, and these people just want to go in and fight, I'm gonna fight for this. My rights, you will give me my rights. Motherfucker, you have never had rights. You never have. It's all been a game. You never had a goddamn right. You are a goddamn lab rat. You are nothing but somebody to be experimented on. It's like, what the hell? Why do you want to hold on to something like this? Oh my God. Oh my God, this is so mental. And, my brother, let's see, I was getting like mixed messages yesterday. I was like, well, he has said a few words, and then I was hurt. Well, he has said sentences. He has spelled Nina, his daughter's name, but he can't spell his own name. He can't walk. He can't, like there's things. And the thing that was getting me, I was like, like everybody thought there wouldn't be things. Like you just had someone cut into your brain and take a chunk out. And you thought that it was just going to be wake up. Oh, that was a crazy day, wasn't it? And, I even said, well, before my brain injury, before I had to do that whole thing, I was a neuro nurse. So, this is, he's going to go through a lot of frustration. He's going to have to relearn some stuff more than likely, especially the two. I haven't seen his whole head, but I definitely saw a hole looking thing here, a hole looking thing here, and a hole looking thing here. That is temporal, frontal, everything in your brain it's a processor. So let's say we took a processor for a computer and we just took a couple little parts out, just a couple. I mean, what's that going to do? Gonna do something. It's gonna do something. Like, I don't know. I don't get how it just in every single thing. I just keep seeing people that just don't think it through. Don't think it through. Just, well, the doctor said, it should be no big deal. He'll resolve or whatever. It's like the one thing I learned on the neuro floor, doctors don't know shit about brains. They say it all the time. I don't know what they tell their patients. Mine told me, oh, you got dementia. Don't worry about it. Just take some hormones. You'll be okay. Working on the neuro floor, I learned You'd have two people come in with the exact same accident, exact same. We had it on the floor before. There was a guy who was a skateboarder, I think, and he crashed and got a brain injury. And then I think the other person got, maybe they were a car wreck or something. I can't remember what theirs was, but they had like the same injury in the same location in their brain. Totally, totally different. Two totally different things happened. There is no set thing with a brain. It is nothing that, you like a broken arm. You could be like, okay, well, it'll break, we'll fix it, it'll go back. May not be perfect, but it'll still work. It's not like that with the brain. Brain is variable. Anything can happen. Like anything. And I mean, I know, the one person who I talk about, the farmer lady, she has a brain injury. She got hers in a car wreck. And hers is, I think, frontal and temporal. And I don't know all of her issues, but I do know that part of her issues has been the unstable mood. And I guess when the first year or something, she could wake up in the middle of the night, start screaming and throwing things and hitting people and not even remember she did any of that or something. Like, it can be very, very unique to each person. The one person who I'd seen that story about, he was an actor, and then he got, how did he, I think his was a motorcycle accident, and then he got his, and he ended up fucking murdering somebody. He just went completely, just, his mood, his self-control, his impulse, that's all up in here. And they sit there and say, well, we got to take it out, and they're going to tell them whatever they want to say, and when you are listening to what the doctor says, you're only going to hear what you can understand at the time. So apparently, everybody seemed to think, oh yeah, you just go in, cut it out, and he'll be back to normal in no time. Because they seem like, well, he can't walk yet, It's like 2 days. Somebody just cut into his fucking brain. He can't spell yet. Well, he doesn't know this yet. So, I don't know. I just the overall energy I was picking up from the group message thing was just like kind of surprised. Even when I said stuff, they kind of act like, oh, here comes Debbie Doomsday. What is that? Debbie Doomsday? Debbie Doomsday, the conspiracy theorist who's always got to go to the dark. It's like, or it's just called being realistic. That's what it is, being realistic. Yesterday, my daughter, this one got her, because we were sitting there and I was watching TikTok, I think, and it was Mandela effect. And so then I was like, oh man, you got to see this one. They're just going to keep on coming. Ever since this CERN came on, it's just going to keep on coming. These Mandela effects. And so this one, I guess, the new one. For one thing, the Flintstones now is Flint Stones, like 2 big T's on how it says. It's like, no, that was my favorite cartoon when I was a kid. And some of them I'll see and I'll be like, man, I don't know. Was it Jif or was it Jiffy? Was it Fruit of the Loom? It's, for sure it had the cornucopia thing with the fruit coming out. It wasn't just a bunch of fruit laying there. But there's, a bunch where it's like you look at it and it's like, man, I can't remember. When I look at both of them next to each other, even Looney Tunes, I was like, when I started looking at it, it's like I was positive it was TOONS. Now it has TUNES. And I was like, man, but there's a whole bunch. But this one, when I showed my daughter, she was freaked. She's sending it to everybody. She's like, no, this isn't. I know for sure it was not Oreo double stoof cookies. Now they've come up, and we even looked up the word stoof to see, STUFE. It's not even a word in the dictionary. So now they're telling us Oreo's just making up new words to call their cookies. Like, yeah, it's double stoofed. It's double stoofed. Okay. So that one really got her. She was like freaking out. She was like, I'm freaking out. Like, I'm kind of panicking here. I was like, and so she starts looking things up and she's sending them to people and stuff. And then she saw somebody come on and start explaining about the simulation and we're all living in. And I've been telling her and telling her and keep telling her, Caleb, you don't understand. This is a hologram. It's like a mind trap. They've got people's consciousness trapped. It's all about the energy. And so she's watching that. And then when she finishes, she goes, okay, I'm in with the simulation. But I don't think she really gets to the degree, but at least, those seeds have to get planted. You have to be able to start really questioning this reality, and what it is. And it is a mind trap. It is an energy siphoning mind trap reality. Because if you are in a movie, you go to be in a movie. So your consciousness gets to play a part to be in this movie. And you go in and you forget you're in a movie and you start thinking that this is real. That seems like a problem. And that's what we got going on. I saw this was trippy too. It was an old episode of Twilight Zone somebody shared. And they were talking about exactly what is happening with the Mandela effect. They were talking about this happening now. And this would have been in the 60s. And he was explaining what is happening and how some people think this other thing is happening. It was weird. It was so freaking weird. I couldn't believe it. And so now, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many things I am seeing people share about the sky stuff and the investigations and the test done on soil, water, all of this stuff, and what they're saying and about the chemicals and all of this stuff. So some of the ones with the really orange sky, like the ones that look like that's a blood red sky, I don't know. I mean, it could be all chemicals. I mean, it looks weird. It is so blood red. And then the ones with the green sky, all of it can be just chemicals. Like, I don't know. I don't know all the chemicals they're using on every single place. We're all unique experiments. And, oh, this one, too. I'll tell about this guy, too, because this was something else I've talked about. And this was a confirmation. But so this guy, he was in Salt Lake and he was showing his sky. He's out. Oh, he's mad, boy. He is real mad. And he's showing the sky and it's all orange. And he's just, oh, he's mad. You people better wake up. This is poison. They are poisoning us. And I'm going after them. I'm going to court. He's a lot of people when they start realizing it's like, how do we stop this? We got to stop this. They're poisoning us. It's like, yeah, but they have been for a long time. That's why we've got people who are sick. We've been poisoned for a long time. Our water has not been safe. Our food has not been safe. There's not been anything safe that we've been consuming. It's all about our energy and the consumption. And so he was, showing all of the stuff in their sky and saying, we got to do something about this. And I saw another one where this guy was a doctor and he was talking up, like it was one of those like committee things or something again. As he's at a podium talking to a bunch of people. And he was saying about that the chemicals. And so he was talking about the breakdown, like some of the things that it will do. Like it's way more toxic than lead. Like, remember they pulled lead paint. Oh, we can't, it's too toxic. We can't we got to protect our lab rats. So we're going to pull the lead. Oh, Jesus. When really, just as nicotine, lead was there to protect our walls so they couldn't see inside of them. Probably couldn't even use the energy weapons that they wanted to use on us. So he was saying that, talking about the chemicals, and he was talking about, okay, this word that I'm sure we can't say, or I would have shared this thing, but there was way too many words that I'm sure we can't say. But so it starts with a morgue, and then it's a longer word, and it has ELLENS, I think, at the end. So it's a new problem that people are having. At first, when people were having it, they were saying, oh, this is all in your head. Oh, it's not real. And then people started catching it. Black worms just coming right on out of them, coming out of their skin, coming all over, People started catching, they're falling from the sky, these black worms. Like, what the hell's going on? So he was saying that those things are otherworldly, that they aren't from here, and that they have consciousness, and they are like a bee or a wasp or something, and they fight back. So, I mean, that's some creepy shit right there. He was saying that has got fetal tissue and stuff in what they're spraying, like on all of the breakdown and stuff. But one of the things that and all of the people putting it together now with the towers and the chemicals, like, I mean, it's just so much of that now, people talking about it. But so he was saying that, and this is something I had said, like they had told me this stuff, but now I've heard a doctor say it, and he said there's a whole bunch of other doctors. Like, he was the one speaking, but there's a whole bunch of doctors involved in these studies. And so Nokia, something about the tower, something about that they can directly give us Wi-Fi into our phone. I don't even understand what they were saying, but the part that got me was that he said that each of us with our own unique DNA coding, they know how to target those codes. They know how to go directly after certain people, and that they can do that. And it's what I've been saying. I've been saying it and saying it and saying it. And they're doing it. And, the thing is, too, with these people, because they're so creepy and corrupt, like, the whole thing with the DNA, like, that thing was such a bunch of bullshit, people sending in their DNA. Like, they've got all of our stuff. Like, anybody who's ever had any kind of medical thing, I mean, a swab in your throat, your blood drawn. I mean, we've given our DNA over to these people over and over and over. And that testing, that was sold directly to, I mean, the people who own that 23andMe or something like that, they also own like YouTube and Google or something. I mean, this is some creepy shit we got going. And the whole thing is like, the idea when I first started hearing about that was that they were going to, there would be certain things, and they would have things for us that they would sell back to us. But I think it's a lot about the targeting. But when you think about, like, they can follow certain family lines, like they can follow certain genetics, and they can wipe out certain groups real easy. And they're doing it. They're doing it right now, right in front of our fucking faces. And oh, and Stella. Okay, so Stella, she still hasn't eaten again. She ate the one day. She ate some graham crackers and tea. She ate some beans on tortilla, and that's it. And then she didn't eat yesterday. And today I'm going to just, I don't know what I'm going to do. Somehow I'm going to have to just force food down her throat, maybe. I don't know. I want to get a syringe. I thought I had a syringe. They were supposed to give me one with their meds, and then it was such chaos and ordeal, and then I got so caught up in the bullshit going on in there that I forgot to make sure they gave me my syringe. So with this tiny little dropper, I'm trying to do her meds in, and it's hard to do. But anyway, so she's getting up. She's moving around so much better. Oh my gosh. And yesterday she even came outside and started barking. That was the first time she came outside and started barking. So she's getting a lot more back to her own self. But she's still doing these weird things, like starts walking and kind of starts going like this and then turning these weird circles. So, and I don't know if that is just her equilibrium, or if it's something with this possible stroke situation. Still waiting for that to resolve. That still hasn't, but, we're getting real close now to the med beds, because Wednesday will be like a week till I go. So it's a week and a half till I go. And when I'll probably leave Thursday morning. Well, if I record it, will be like on the road, showing different things on the road. And then, once I get there, yesterday I drove to town though to, because I was going to get like a ramp for her to get in the car. And it was like, that, no way. She can't climb stairs to get in, because I was going to do the stairs. And I was like, well, I can't do that. She bunny hops down the stairs. So she can't bunny hop down a little ramp stair thing off the car. And then I went to look at this ramp, and it was so narrow. I was like, oh my God, she can't do that. So I'm going to have to just be trying to lift her up. She has definitely lost some weight though. She's looking a little slim. Um, it's so cute too. She's sitting out here with me. This is first time she's just come outside and sit, and she's holding her head up strong. Because before it was just like laying down, like she couldn't hold it up. She would just be real crooked, and now she's holding it up. She's looking around, so she's just doing so much better. I'm so excited. But I just know whatever, if there's other things going on, when we get to those med beds, I just know it will start helping her hips start getting that cartilage built back up and cause a lot less pain. And then whatever is going on neurologically, I don't know. I don't know why he said that something with the brain stem. So I don't know. There's just so much stuff going on, and there's so much stuff that, we're not being told. I saw this guy, and he was talking about in Uruguay. So Uruguay right now, they are really outraged. They're pissed off. Their people are dying, and it's not like in America where they're like, hell yeah, don't tell anybody we did it. No, they're like, what in the fuck? And they demanded the PF tell them exactly every single thing in there. They want every bit of documentation right now, right here, right now. Give us it all. And the PF said, oh crap, and left. They pulled all their stuff and left. They pulled everything out and ran. That's what these people are going to keep on having to do, is run, 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 run. And it all has to do with people waking up and seeing and noticing and asking the questions. And it's just so weird how people in America are so consumed by something different, something else. It is like so weird too, because I always heard something, about like in this biblical sense, like America is the Babylon, or America is it is like the last stand or something. Like there's something about this, what's happening here. And energetically, when you see it, you compare it to some of these other countries, like how we are all such, I think any of the countries that are under the church and the crown, like that seems to be a big thing. Because I think England is a lot like America. Like I think a lot of the people are into shallow shit. I mean, if you watch Love Island, every freaking girl on there, she's got all this surgery done to her face and stuff like that. So I think because I had heard, I mean, even when those girls on Love Island would talk about, they talk real openly about, like everybody does it. It's like the guys would even be like, well, I think you got a little too much in the lips, or maybe you need to add a little more and stuff like that. It was just like weird. Like, I think in America, a girl goes and does it, and then she wants to go out and have everybody think that's just her natural look. But in England, it's like they talk openly about the fake shit that they're doing to themselves. So maybe Canada isn't as much. Canada seems like a little bit more wholesome. But, I don't know. I mean, they don't have Love Island Canada, do they? But what I did see yesterday from a couple of different Canadian people on TikTok is all Canada was shut down yesterday. Everything was down. The banks were down. The cell phones were down. Everything was down. So, and then one of the people I saw saying it, they were saying, although we're being told it's due to these CMEs that are doing it. But to me, it's like the same thing as like, who's knocking down the guidestones? Who's knocking down the obelisks? It's like, I feel like the stuff keeps going on, but it's not waking people up. So just go more and more dramatic. I mean, we got more and more absurdity now with, I don't know, Joe doing something more like giving Hunter, like it's so funny dude, because these people aren't even really there, but giving him more corrupt shit or something. I'm not really sure how it's going, but it's something outrageous. It's something in the news that he's doing. So all of this absurd shit is just supposed to keep waking people up. But I think that it's kind of like the White Hats or Alliance or whoever's on our side, the action of our side, the side towards freedom and independence, that they are making bigger moves. And when they're making bigger moves, it's like, is it kind of showing the last few of the people involved like it's over? Or is it just to keep waking people up? Is it to get there to be more attention? Like, I don't know what it all means, or you know, who's doing it, why they're doing it, how it's being done, because everything is still so upside down. It's so hard to know what, the purpose or the reason behind it. So I'm hoping that it is the alliance, like, well, we've given you some time and time's up, and now we're making moves and we're knocking this shit down. And, people keep being like, oh my God, this got knocked down. Oh my God, this got knocked down. Oh, this happened, that happened. You know, could just keep going like that for a while. I don't know. Maybe that will be the big awakening. We'll just keep being just weird shit. Like, definitely the double stuffed Oreos really got my daughter spinning out. So this starts pulling on my hair. Ugh. So, anyways, I don't know. I feel like, we still have a lot of stuff moving every day. I see, things going, but we want stuff to go so much faster. I think my daughter's staying today. That's why I just came out here. She's still asleep, so I want to start recording. But I think she might be staying today, she said. I don't know. Probably depend on her mood when she gets up. I wish that she would come with me to the med beds. I even told her we're going to be right next to Joshua Tree. She wanted to go camping in Joshua Tree. It's 4 hours from Joshua Tree. We could go over there and do a camp out after. As I'm telling you, go in for 12 hours in that med bed. You're going to feel so much better. But your back won't even be hurting anymore. Whatever's going on, she 100% trusts these things, all these people. There's so many people who just keep trusting. Like, even these women who say they're going against him and they're going out to march to take a stand for their rights. It's like, why are you going and trying? How do you, have these people ever shown that they are there for us? That they are going to do what we want, do what we ask? Like, why can't people see what independence is? Leaving that system is going and developing your own community. I don't get it. But obviously there's people like me who aren't supposed to get it, and we're supposed to keep saying, hey guys, this is stupid. I know, this is stupid. Hey guys, we need to do something else. We need to make changes. Hey, did you notice this pond is fracturing? Like, we got holes everywhere. It's like, oh my gosh, it just is so annoying. I don't know. I feel like things will start changing, and the people, those of us who are speaking out, we will start being heard more. I really think that whole scam about the, to lift the censorship off my account. You pay this money to this hacker, they hack into your account, they lift all the censorship and shut off your account. I really think that they've done something to even slow it down more. Or it is just that the system is slowing everything down, because there's a lot of accounts that are being taken down and getting restrictions and all sorts of stuff right now, because they want to keep everybody asleep. They're desperate to keep everybody asleep. Like, I don't know. It weirds me out, because no matter what, they can't, because it's like a cosmic thing, and all of this that they do to try. And if they have beings that are more advanced that are talking to them, like, why? Maybe those beings are, maybe they are saying, just like, it's never been done before. You don't know what's going to happen. You can try. You could try and do this. You can try and keep them asleep. You can try and catch their souls as they're going out and telling them to come with you, go back in. Got more work to do here, soldier. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this mind trap thing just kind of trips me out. Just because I always, ever since I was a kid, I always questioned the government. I was constantly telling people, you can't trust them. This is, I would say, well, why don't we get to say what we want done with the taxes? Why do they just take our money and say what they're going to do? Like, I would constantly ask people and tell people this stuff, even when I was little. And it's just, I don't know. To me, it feels kind of like a lot of one message after another. It's about my brother thing. But some of the messages, like one person will say something, then everybody in the group message will go on and like it, and then you'll get like a million messages. So and so like this. So and so like this. So and so like this. So, anyways, that if what was I gonna say? If I don't remember. Start bitching about something. I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, anyways, if all I know, people have got to start waking up and questioning things. People got to come together. Even talking to my daughter and telling her, well, sometimes you got to listen to people you don't agree with. You know, she said, well, sometimes you do too. I was like, dude, that is what I done. That's why I am telling you. It's like, how do you think I got all the information that I have gotten? I've gone in and listened to other people that I used to think I didn't agree with. You have to go in and listen. That is unity. That is respect. That is listening to other people. And I don't, is it people's own insecurities that they can't listen to people who don't agree with them? They can't listen to people who don't agree. They don't want to look at things that they don't want to believe. They just want everything to be how they want it to be. And so to me, it does kind of feel like this reincarnation recycle thing, like a lot of the souls that are in the mind trap has done this life after life or something. It's just as seem or during this age, during this particular age, that they went in and did a bunch of lives during this age. If you see what I'm saying. Because you can go in all different ages, and all different ages had different experiences. So like I have a strong thing about Egypt a long time ago, not current Egypt, Egypt back a long time ago would have probably been the golden age back in that during that age. And so that wouldn't be like during this whatever this period of time is, like an age, I think they said like 26,000 years or something. But okay, so if you put it all together, so 26,000 years for an age, and during this age of how many different life experiences you could go in and live. But in this certain age, that it being like a trap, like a reincarnation recycle trap or something, where they go in and they head you off when you are. Because I'd even seen where people were talking about, like right now, you got to be super careful if you're trying to go out and do any of that. What is that called? When you leave your body, people do it on purpose. What is that called? Well, you know what I mean. Where people go in and they leave their body. It's like there's lucid dreaming, then there's the other thing. And so this person, and this was, I've heard several people say this, is you got to be really astral projection. If you're astral projecting right now, you got to be really careful because all realms are being manned by all different kind of entities and stuff right now. It's not a safe time to be going out and astral projecting. And see, they know of these other realms. They have other entities in other realms. We are feeding entities in other realms. It's called luge or something like that. It's an energy that we put out and that we feed these other beings. So in these other realms where your consciousness would come out, and it's being policed or something, then it's real easy to get somebody to be like, hey, let's look at this life review with you, get them to feel judged and tell them they need to go back. And I think that's been going on for a while. And that is how they created this mind trap. And I think that there is some of us who just haven't been here in a long time, like didn't have a whole bunch of lives in this, or didn't follow the same patterns or something. Because it's just hard to believe that this mind trap could just be this strong from one life. It seems like that is more complex than that. Like, it's not just they were born into one life and then all of a sudden they got this mind trapped. I think it's been a bunch of lives. But I think for some of us, the reason why we can see it is because we just weren't in that same thing. Like, we were somewhere else, being consciousness somewhere else, out of this earth plane, out of this realm. Because there's tons and tons in this solar system that we all are a part of. This body, body in space, you know, like it really is like a body. Like, we are all part of the same thing. That is, like, if you think of that solar system as being God, and we are all the fractals of that to go on experience. But there's tons and tons of experiences. It's like there's a lot of different stuff going on inside of our bodies. There's a lot of different stuff going on our planet. There's a lot of different stuff. Like, everything is expansion. So, anyways, I feel like, I feel like things are moving. I felt so excited yesterday when I saw Canada was shut down. I was like, oh my God, please let us be next. Please. God, shut us down. Shut down these fucking banks. End the slavery. And then that obulus thing getting knocked down. That is, to me, it was really exciting news. And for a whole country to be going after the PF, that's exciting news. And then, that's going to have India and Africa. I mean, that's going to be a whole group going after, not just one country, not just one small country. It's going to be massive. Africa starts going after, that's fucking like, I think Gator Boy fucked that whole continent over. Like, that, in India and in Africa, they were just total test subjects, and the people are mad. They're outraged. Everybody's waking up all over the place. So I'm excited. I think that those big things are the things that we got to hold on to for our hope and be like, there's movement. Even though here, sometimes it just seems like Groundhog Day, and every day we get up and just relive the same fucking painful day. and just waiting to see who's next. And, I'm really excited, though, when I see so many more people who keep talking about what's in the sky and what they're doing with the frequency and stuff. Because, when you very first start speaking out, nobody else is. You just get a lot of people thinking you're crazy. But now there's so many people who are saying it, that it's like a locomotive it's filling up the train, and seats are getting full, and we're full speed ahead. So, and everything, it's all energy. Everything is about energy, and this energy will flip. It will flip the other way. It will be just like a timer, and the timer goes and the sand starts going the other direction. It's going to be that different. It's going to be that abrupt or whatever. We really will have a very noticeable change when it starts going the other direction. And maybe they're doing it just super, super slow. I think there's going to be something abrupt. I think there's going to be something big. Something is going to happen that's going to really shake things up, I think. And we'll see. Here we are with the planes flying over us as usual. It's just so weird with these military planes flying over all the time. It's so annoying, too. So I feel like a lot of the stuff they do is just to create anxiety, create fear. They want people on drugs. Yesterday, I had some stuff on Marketplace for free. I had this futon, a twin futon and a recliner, because that recliner was pulling my hair. I was like, so I put it on there, and somebody wanted it, and they wanted me to bring it to them. They didn't have a car. And so I was like, well, won't be going to town anytime soon. I don't think I can fit it all in my car. But then when I wanted to go see that bridge thing, I had to go to Spokane, or go into town in Bellingham to go see that bridge, that little ramp thing. So I told the person, well, I'm going to be coming into town. I'll try and fit the stuff and I'll bring it. And they sent me their address. And it took a while, but I got everything stuffed into my car. And then I drove down there, and we got there, and it was definitely, it was downtown Bellingham, but it was definitely drugs, homeless, like this person probably, last night, even when I was sitting there, I was like, man, that person's probably so excited to have a chair to sit in and a bed to start using or something. I mean, for all I know, they slept in the recliner. Like, it definitely was those kind of places where people don't have a lot of stuff. And when they do, a lot of people are walking by with shopping carts with all their stuff. And while we're sitting there, I was texting the person, but they weren't answering. And so I was like, but it was apparently my phone was not sending it to them, which I didn't know because it looked like it was going through. So I was saying, we're here, what do you want me to do with it? And so then I just, well, I'll just put it on the sidewalk. And I left. I was just like, well, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know which apartment this person's in. And it was so many homeless people right there. And there was a guy who was sitting on a planter who was passing out, just kept passing out. I mean, it was very, definitely drugs. I mean, they couldn't hold their head up. And my daughter and I are sitting there, and we're like, man, should we go help them? And it's like, this is probably an everyday thing. And there's other people, and can't walk and stuff. So we started talking. I said about the fentanyl. Oh, when I said a patch, when she had her patch, I'm talking about a lidocaine patch, the ones you get at the pharmacy. It's just like a little heat patch, these little heat pain patches you put on, not the pain patch. So we were sitting there, and we started talking about it. And I said, yeah, maybe it's I said, it looks like some heroin problem over there. And then I was like, well, it could be the fentanyl. And so we started talking about that. And I said about the little blue pill. And she goes, those are called Mexies. And I said, the little blue pill that's killing people? And she goes, yeah, it's called a Mexi. And it's a little blue pill. And what that is they take the fentanyl and they chop it up. And then they put it on the pill. But the pill doesn't have it equally distributed. So if somebody chops up the pill and snorts it or shoots it out or whatever these people are doing with this stuff, then they can get all of the whole dose instead of just a little bit, and it's killing them. And then I had seen about that guy who was also in Washington State talking about two of his siblings now are addicted to these little blue pills that they've put on the market. And if you try and get off of them, you go into such severe withdrawals, you think you're dying for a week. And so I don't know. I didn't even know fentanyl was that addictive. Like, I mean, fentanyl is when you're a nurse, you only used fentanyl. You had to be monitoring their breathing and everything, and it would be used for something like people would come in with a dislocated shoulder, and then you give them some injection. Go sit there and monitor all this stuff, and while they get their shoulder yanked back into place, stuff like that. Like, so it wasn't. I wouldn't have thought of it being addictive. And then also people who had cancer and stuff or severe pain, and they started doing fentanyl patches. And that's where we started having so many people who were getting them. Because then a lot of those people that were on fentanyl patches, they'd already gone through morphine, all the different drugs. They had a high tolerance. And then you get these kids that like, oh, grandma just died and she left all these fentanyl patches. Let's just go sell these, make some money. And so people were doing this fentanyl that had no tolerancy, and now it was killing people. And then now they've put in the tainted, where it's got some sort of tainting in it or something that is giving them more, killing them. Like, now you got it in these little pills, and it's killing them. But the whole thing is this system wants them on that. That's what they want. That's why the pharmacies make so much money. It's all about getting people on any kind of drug. I don't care if it's legal, illegal, anything to keep them in the mind trap. People who are on drugs, people who are drug addicts and stuff, are so stuck in pain and suffering. Just think of the energy they're putting out, the self-hate every day, how much they hate themselves. Every day, what the energy they're putting out about the pain that they have not dealt with. Because, even if you go and you stop doing drugs, and every day is about just another day, I've got to just get through this day. But really, what you got to do is deal with the pain and suffering that got you on the drugs to begin with. You got to go in and face your demons. You got to go in and see, like, why do I hate myself? Why do I want to have this? It's like self-loathing. It's surrendering. It's like no worth to themselves. And that's what we've got to start getting to, the core in everybody's problems. Everything else is just, it's a outlet for the people. It's something that they use to try and make themselves feel better. But, this has got to, we got to start getting to the core. I'm about to start having a coughing fit. I don't know why. Something just starts scratching my throat. So I'll go. I'll talk to you later.